Please fasten your seatbelts, make sure that your carry-ons are stowed properly, and get ready to travel on Nomad Air. Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by today. I am so excited to share with you the brand new collection from Nomad Cosmetics. I was not expecting this. Was anyone else expecting this? By now, you have probably all seen the reveal of this fun collection from Nomad. I think that this is so great. I think the nostalgia here is so amazing. I was so surprised when I got my box. By the way, Nomad did send this to me in PR, so I do want to just put that out there. But when I got my bag, I was like, this is a huge package. I'm like, maybe this is a really delicate palette. Like, did they have to like super duper bubble wrap it? And then I opened it up and I was like, what? So we have in here not only a cute little palette, but we have 3 brand new skincare items from Nomad. Now I'm going to give you a peek into this bag in just a second, but I do just want to talk about the little insert that came in this little boarding pass is so super cute. And by the way, this is my first class ticket ever. So thank you, Nomad. So just to kind of give you a little vibe on this collection, this is the Nomad Air Beauty Care Essentials collection. So it is a new line of skincare and makeup products from Nomad Cosmetics dreamed up in the air. So the brand says that this 4-piece collection was specifically designed to hydrate through any and all travel. And they say that through extensive research, they have been creating these products to blend the best of what nature has to offer with science-backed innovation ingredients. And as always, Nomad will be supporting a cause through this launch, and this time they have chosen Sustainable Travel International. I think that these go really hand in hand. They are also providing carbon offsets with every purchase. So I just wanted to give you that little note right there. So let's dive into this. So this travel bag, y'all, I mean, it is just so stinking cute. You have 2 zippered pouches here, and then you have 2 elasticized spots. So you could put hairbrushes, larger makeup brushes, you know, different items just to kind of like tuck them away securely. And then inside, I honestly, I was like, I need to dig into this right away. I didn't see that the package had come until like later in the evening, and I was like, I need to open it. I need to open it right now. So of course we knew that we were gonna be getting some eyeshadow, right? Like we saw the sneak peek of the palette, the little like peek into the palette. So we do have the Nomad Air, the travel palette here. We're of course going to get into that. And then we have 3 brand new skincare items. So in talking about Sustainable Travel International, I think that the reason that this really goes hand in hand as I'm being loud and pulling these all out is these products are all made from aluminum, which makes them incredible to recycle and also reuse. And they are virtually plastic free. So I think that the only thing is the pump on this product that is plastic, but everything else you can recycle. And of course you can reuse all of these if you would really like to do so. So let's go ahead and dive into these products. Again, today I am doing the look that you're seeing here, and I do apply and give you my thoughts on all of the skincare products. Now, I haven't been using the skincare for like 4 weeks, which I think is really what you need to really have a true test of skincare, but I have been using it for the last few days, and I will be sharing with you all of my thoughts on the skincare so far as we get into the application of all the products. So let's talk a little bit about the packaging. So cute. Like this blue matte, I think I even said, well, was it in my recent Splurge Stalker Save? I cannot remember, but I was talking about, you know, they were sneaking this like retro airline vibe, and I was like, oh, I've been watching Mindhunter, and I see the planes that they're on, and it was all like yellow, like blue like this, like kind of like mustard oranges. So like before the sneak peek of the eyeshadow palette, I was like, this is going to be a really interesting color story. But they brought it home in the packaging. They brought it home in the packaging and kept it really sleek. So this is of course recyclable. I love the fact that Nomad has as minimal packaging when they ship out your products as possible while still taking care of all of our beautiful lovelies. But everything that can be recyclable is. I just really love the sustainability factor that this brand brings to the table. I really appreciate that. So just a little brief note on the products. As we get in, I will be going more into these. So we have the face mist, obviously a hydrating face mist, and then we have a lip salve, and then we also have a face cream. So if you think about travel and dehydration, these are 3 products that really like hit home. I mean, I know from traveling for my work as a hair and makeup artist, obviously I do some more airline travel for Paul Mitchell, and y'all, it can be brutal. It can really be brutal. And I think that also right now, like, I don't want to say the W word, but you know, it's fall and something comes after that, and it is just going to be like dehydration nation. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, now before we get into the try-on of all of the products and my initial thoughts, I do just want to give you a price rundown on everything here. So you can get the entire collection. It does come with this tote, and that is the only way that you're able to get this tote, by the way. That is $79. By the way, I can hear them clanking here, and I just realized that I never showed them to you. Look, they're little, like, airplanes. How cute is that? You know, sometimes it's just all in the details. Anyway, so the tote and all 4 of the products, that is a value of $125, and you're going to be able to get that for $79. Now, the 6-pan palette itself is $22. Did I actually show the inside of the palette? I don't think I did. I mean, you've probably all seen the sneak peeks on Instagram, but we have this beautiful little neutral moment. Like, I think this is so well timed, but when we think travel, when we think easy looks, neutrals are just gonna hit it. I do think that this is also a really nice way to pull out some neutrals really easily with any other palette that you have in your collection. So I think that this was a smart way to go. So that little 6-pan is $22. And then when we get into the skincare, the lip salve is $12, the face mist is $22, and the face cream is $49. So you're gonna see up close looks at all of these products, but I love the vibe of the aluminum packaging. Like, I think it just is sort of that like retro moment, you know, that nostalgic feel, but of course the fact that it is very sustainable. I can absolutely see reusing this and even just like popping things into these tins when I am done. So, all right. I think that's it. Oh, I should also probably mention my discount code. If you do want to save, you can use Keep Beauty Real. Now that code is not affiliated in any way, but it will save you some cash. I do also want to say, speaking of saving cash, if you are interested in buying these products, the brand did let me know that this is a special launch pricing. So probably in a month or so, the pricing will be going up to their standard pricing. This is just sort of an introductory price. That doesn't mean you need to buy it this week, right? I love the fact that the brand isn't doing like, run now, get it. Don't think about it, just purchase. But they just wanted to kind of notate there that this is a special launch price. So you are gonna get the best deal if you purchase in the next few weeks, and then it will be going up to their standard pricing. And that pricing, by the way, hasn't been released yet, so I don't know the savings on that. So just a little note there. Okay, so now we have the inspo for this collection. We have the initial information, we have the pricing. All there is to do now is to get into the application and my thoughts. So we're gonna do that right now. I realized, by the way, that I never did my little like intro spiel. So if you've stuck through this far and we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Okay, I got it in the video. Now let's get into putting some stuff on my face. All right, it is legit early in the morning. This is exactly how I feel when I get up to travel. Like if you ever have a really early flight and you're like, okay, I can do this. This is how I'm feeling right now. All right, we're gonna start out the hydration journey. So we are gonna go through first with the Nomad Air, the face mist. So I like to use something like this on occasion just to give an extra dose of moisture before I go through with my moisturizer. So the brand says that this is light refreshing mist that blends antioxidant rich rosemary water and moisture attracting sodium PCA to refresh and revitalize. I think that sodium PCA is one of the ingredients in the Tower 28 SOS. I could be wrong, but maybe I will. If I have the time, I'm gonna check in on that. So I really love the packaging on this. And truly, I do think that this is a product that is nice to have when you're doing air travel. Like, I find that when I get off of a plane, my face just, everything just feels so dry, right? So I could absolutely see having this to just give my face a little bit of a quench before moving on for the day. So I went ahead and tied my hair out of the way. I do have it curled for the day, so I don't want to get it too wet. So I'm just gonna spray this. Now this is definitely a pretty, I don't want to say fierce as in like overly much, but it isn't like a light mist. This is definitely to, you know, give you a lot of quenching moisture. So this is going to be something that for me goes on when I'm not wearing any makeup, or if I do have makeup on, you gotta keep it quite a bit away. It's not like a fine mist where you're going to be able to just get that like, psh, this is really going to like give you the hydration. So I find that this scent, it isn't overpowering. Like, I know that there are no fragrances added to any of these products, but because of the rosemary water, this does have a little bit of a scent. It is a little bit of like a herbaceous scent. You can smell the rosemary a little bit, but I don't find that like later I smell like, you know, herbs that belong on chicken going into the oven. Like it's not that strong. So it is really just very, very lightweight. And like I said, I only had I had my vitamin C serum on before this. So that is the only other product that I had on. All right, so let's move into this one. I love this tin. Like the packaging of these is just so beautiful. I think that it was very nostalgic. And of course, because it is aluminum, you are able to recycle the whole thing, which I think is great. So this is the face cream, and this is a weightless hydration cream that blends replenishing shea butter and jojoba oil with moisture locking sodium hyaluronate and dimethicone. It is said to hydrate and nourish. So obviously this is just a little twist off tin. Now, both of the products that I'm about to show you, they had a little very thin like tin sheet that you had to rip off because I have been using these for the last few days. They're gone. They're gone. So I have been using this day and night for the last few days, and I'm just gonna take, you know, a decent amount here, but not too much. And this really does have a very hydrating feel to it. Right off the bat, when I touched it, I was like, okay, this reminds me of the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, like that simplistic yet hydrating, soothing feel. I feel like this one has a bit more of a feel to it. Like it has and I think it's probably the dimethicone, it does feel like it has a little bit of like a barrier to it. Now, the day that this package came, both Jeremy and I used the products at night, and I think I used way too much. And it definitely, like, it does have a little bit of a feel to it. It's not like overly sticky, but it does have just that little bit of tack to it. It isn't overly sticky, but it doesn't like completely absorb in. You know, you are left with a little bit of almost like a protective barrier on the skin. Some people love that, some people don't. So I will say that I was a little bit worried because I wanted to try this under makeup, right? I wanted to see if I could do it at night and also do it during the day if I am gonna end up wearing makeup, because there are times when I'm traveling for work that I will like do my skincare in the morning but not put on makeup, and then once I get off the plane and I'm, you know, jumping off to wherever I have to go, that I will then do my makeup. And so I was like, okay, is this gonna be a product that I can wear under makeup? And I do have to say, it has worked nicely. Yesterday I had a pretty long day at work and it worked great under the foundation that I had. I didn't get like extra glowy, but I also didn't feel like shrinky dinked by the end of the day. And obviously you're gonna get to see what the makeup looks like over this because we're gonna be doing some makeup today. So I do wanna say that I'm not sure, as far as someone who is, you know, a more combo to oily skin type, I don't know how this will be as like more of a daytime cream. I think that you could still wear this as a nighttime cream, but I'm not sure. I just have a feeling that this would be a little bit too much for that skin type, but I don't have that skin type, so just keep that in mind. But that would just be my first initial thought. All right, so now this little cutie right here. So this is the lip salve. And again, you have the same aluminum tin, and it did also have that little foil. These do also have that like slightly smushy protector in the top. Wow, it's early. My words are not coming to me. So this definitely reminds me of that very classic, nostalgic, like rosebud salve. And this again does have the rose scent to it. Now, I did reach out to the brand after I had tried these just to sort of like chit chat about it. And I was like, Jeremy and I personally really like this because we both like rose scent. It's not overly strong, but I said it is sort of a risky choice just because there are a lot of people who don't like that floral scent, like close to their mouth. This is not, it's not super strong. Like I don't put this on and feel like I'm chewing on a bouquet. You know, you guys know I hate that. Like I have the Vision Flush. I love those from Danessa Myricks, but the fact that they are so floral, I will not use them on my lips anymore just because it's like, it's miserable. Now this has a thin, yeah, it's like a salve. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a balm. It's also not like an oil. It's sort of like that somewhere in between. So I feel like to me, this is gonna give a bit of nourishment and also kind of that protective layer. So I could absolutely see slathering this on if you were gonna be doing any travel. Now, the brand says that this is a multi-purpose healing balm that blends conditioning rosehip, cottonseed, and jojoba seed oils with soothing sea berry fruit and camellia flowers to smooth and protect. So I think that you could use this like on your cuticles if you get super dry cuticles. I honestly, unless some of the ingredients that I just listed are things that your skin doesn't like, I could see if you have incredibly dry skin, I think you could actually almost like slug with this product. So you could put on the face cream and then take a little bit of this and tap it over the areas that you get extra dry. Now that's something that I would recommend doing more at night, not necessarily during the day under makeup, obviously. But I like this. And you know, they said that the rose scent, because these are fragrance free, it doesn't mean they have no fragrance, it just means fragrance has not been added. They say that this is, you know, from that rose hip. I am kind of surprised just because I have rose hip oil in my skincare and rose hip oil does not smell like roses. It does not smell like roses. This does have a rose scent to it, so I was just sort of surprised on that. But the texture of it is really nice. You know, I'm not team fingers. I really don't love, like I have before had balms and salves that I really like that I will just go through sticking my fingers into a tub of, but that's not like my favorite thing to do, especially like if I think about traveling, germs, ugh. But this is a really nice product, so if you don't mind sticking your fingers into something, then you will probably really enjoy this. Okay, so those are the 3 skincare items. So I'm sorry, I wanted to zoom you in a little bit so that you could see my skin. So I feel very nice and hydrated. Again, it does have a little bit of a feel on top of the skin, but not in a bad way. You know, like I just feel like I have that like barrier there to protect me from life. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just do all of my complexion makeup. I will hop back and you can kind of see how it sits on top of the skincare. And then we're gonna play with the eyeshadow palette, of course, but I just wanted you to be able to see all of the skincare in action. And I will give my final thoughts on all of this at the end, but like I said, I have been trying to use this for a few days. I don't think you can tell that you're going to like love something in a few days of using it, but I do think you can kind of tell if it's something that you're really gonna despise. So I just wanted to give it a good shot before I gave you some first impressions. So I'm gonna go do this and we'll play with some eyeshadow. All right, I just reapplied the lip salve because I had to wipe it off because my Cupid's bow highlight got a little extra and then I had like frosty lip vibes. Not cute, not cute. So complexion done. It looks okay right here. I feel like we're gonna have to do some eyeliner because the brows got to be a little extra. Just a little quick rundown of what I'm wearing. I have on a combo of the Complexion Rescue. This is in the shade Ginger, which is my summer shade, which is way too dark for me already. So sad. But I really just kind of want to use this up. It's about, well, okay, it does have quite a bit in it. Maybe I should maybe not have that goal. I thought it didn't have a lot in it. I was like, don't save it until next summer. Like, use it now. So we'll see. I did decide to cocktail it with the MAC Studio Water Weight Foundation just because this is quite light and then this one's a little dark. So they made the perfect combination. So that's what's on for my foundation. And then I have the Tentidol Concealer from Lancome on. And then I decided to go in with the Sydney Grace cream products. So I have on, I think all of these are from my mystery bags. Maybe not. Maybe I purchased the highlighter. Maybe not. Anyway, I have Apple Cake for bronzer, Rosebud for blush, and Head in the Clouds for the highlight. So that is what that is. All right, so just wanted to let you know that in case you were curious. So let's go ahead and get into this little cutie, shall we? So right on the packaging here, I think that this is so cute. It says, carry on must have, 6 rich blendable shades in buttery mattes and lustrous shimmers, curated for a variety of looks from subtle to bold. In a slim, compact case with built-in mirror, it is the perfect eyeshadow palette wherever your travels may take you. So I really like this color story. I mean, I think obviously, again, neutrals are having their moment right now, but let's face it, this is also just like a staple color story to be able to do a lot with in, you know, like one tiny little palette. So I'm gonna give you a little up close look here. And what I will probably do is, if I don't have time this morning, I'll make sure to do it and include it later in this video, but I will go ahead and swatch out some comparisons of some other colors in case you have some of the other Nomad Cosmetics palettes and you're sort of curious how those compare to these shimmers. I do also think a big part of this, even if they are close-ish, is just the fact that you have 6. You have a little baby bite-sized palette here. It's meant to be travel-friendly, right? Like right off the bat, I can say that I think that this is a really nice option for me to have out as a companion palette for any other palette. Like I think you know, just initial thoughts. I mean, you have some great mattes. You have a deepening matte, you have a couple beautiful like blending mattes, and then we've got a nice inner corner. If you have deeper skin, you could wear this one as an inner corner, and then this shade looks kind of fun, but I haven't swatched her yet. So I'm gonna do that really quick, and then we'll do an eye look. Okay, so here we have our 6 shades. This is really a beautiful little 6-pan. So for our mattes, we have Let's Take Off, Up, Up and Away, and Fly the Skies. So I would say that the first 2, especially the first one, I would say at least for sure the first one is more of a rosy undertone, like definitely more of that cool, what I like to call like cocoa or like mocha, where it has just like that little bit of underlying pink. Up, Up and Away is a little bit closer to a true neutral, but I think it's still just a little bit rosy. And then Fly the Skies is a charcoal brown, you know, like in the pan, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more brown, but once you get it on, it is a little bit more in that charcoal realm, like not black and not gray, you know, sort of like a burnt brown in the best way possible. So then we have Find Your Wings, Follow the Sun, and See the World on the bottom. And those are obviously the shimmers. Let me see if I can get just a little closer there to show you the texture. And for those of you that are curious, these are what I would say is Nomad's more well-known shimmer formula. They're not super smushy. They aren't also super hard pressed. So I am already really excited about these shimmers. I think that they're going to perform well. They are probably going to pick up really nicely. And they definitely have that, I would say, trademark Nomad feel, where they have that shimmery, like sort of like mid-level foiled base, and then a lot of the little like sparkle. And I know recently I did the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette video, and because I was talking about how those like have all the like teeny tiny sparkles to them. I think Nomad sparkle is just a little bit bigger, so you see a little bit more texture, not like in a bad way, but you see more of that like reflect. Whereas the Glaminatrix is just like super microfine. So these are a little bit bigger than that. And the See the World shade is this beautiful, again, sort of like that rosy mocha, but deeper brown base with those like coppery pink sparkles over the top. But that shade to me leans almost a little bit closer to satin. Like if I, you know, if I bend my hand here, you see how it's not picking up quite as much light as the top 2 are. It is also a darker shade, so it's just not going to take as much light, but it's just not quite that like wet feel. It is a little bit more like satin, which I'm not mad at, because I think that that's going to be like a great option texturally in this palette. So we're just going to play. I'm just going to create something probably a little bit more dramatic, since my eyebrows decided to get dramatic today. What can I say? And I am just going to do one look today. I mean, it's 6 shadows. I think you can kind of see the potential here, right? So I'm just going to do a look quick. I'll just pop some music over. Hopefully you'll have your coffee right along with me. Let's get into it. All right, here we have the finished look. I managed to use all 6 of these shades in here. And I think that this look just really kind of shows the potential of this palette. Obviously, I went a little darker on the outside and I was very tempted. In fact, I probably would have ended up a little darker, like more throughout, but the lighter shade just got me. I was like, ooh, and then I just kept pulling it out and I was like, oh, I just covered up some of that dark. It's fine, it's fine. But you could probably see like just how, I tell you what, once I wet this shade, it got beautiful, deep. I really like this little palette. So I really think that you have a lot of potential with this. I will be honest, the Nomad Shimmer formula to me isn't a one and done type formula. Like I just like to have a matte with it, but you could certainly do a 2 and done. Like I could very easily have just popped this shade all over and then just pop that onto the lid and just been fine with it. Like no problem. All right, I hope this look was just helpful to be able to see all of the shades applied so that you can see them in action. Now we're gonna go through my final thoughts on this entire collection. All right, so I think that I sprinkled my thoughts throughout this video, but I do just wanna give a little rundown on what I think of this really cute collection. Like, oh, it's just so cute. It's so cute. So I do have to say, I really enjoy this little 6-pan palette. I think that it is a really nice option if you are looking for a small neutral palette to be able to either travel with, if you just want like something quick, easy, no-brainer to pull out. And like I said, I do think that this is gonna be a nice little companion palette to pull out with any other palette where you're like, oh, I wish I had a few more neutrals, or oh, I'm missing an inner corner in this one, or whatever it might be. So I think that this is a really cute option. I think that Nomad, for the vision of this collection, I think that they really killed it on the packaging. I think that this is very like nostalgic retro vibes here. I think a lot of people really love the deeper artwork that Nomad usually does. So I think for some people it might just be so different that it's like, the packaging isn't like, whoa, right? But I think it's super cute. So, okay, the palette, love it. Like I knew I probably was going to, as long as the formulas were the formulas that I like and appreciate from Nomad, which they totally are. So with the skincare items, now obviously I've only used these for a few days, so this is definitely first impressions. I have been giving it as good of a shot as possible to be able to give you my thoughts. So I think that these are nice. Now, I don't think that any of the products in here are revolutionary formulas. I think that they are really nice formulas. So if you're looking for something that's super travel friendly, or you really love the sustainability option here because of the aluminum packaging, I think that this is definitely a go ahead from me. I think if you are interested in the palette and some of the skincare speaks to you, now is the time to snag the bundle, because the bundle again is $79. You get the tote, you get the 3 skincare items, and then you get the palette. And again, the brand did mention that the pricing right now is sort of like special for the launch, so they will be raising the prices down the road. So just one thing to keep in mind. I think they said it would be about a month at this price. So I like that it's not like get it in the first week. You can, really take your time to think about it, but you do want to know that, this pricing will be going up. So I think that the whole thing is cute. Like it would be such a beautiful gift. Like if you have someone in your life that does a lot of traveling and you just want to give them a really lovely gift for the holidays, this is a beautiful option. Now, if I had to pick one of these skincare items out of this that I think I'm going to use the most, it is the lip salve. And I know that I said that I'm not team fingers, but I do really like the feel of this product. By the way, obviously I have more than the salve on now. I did just go through with the Fenty Fussy Gloss Bomb. So you've all seen her. So I like the fact that this texture is more of that like satiny, balmy look. It's not overly glossy, so I think a lot of people could really use and enjoy this, even if you don't love that like I'm wearing a lip product look, right? Like this is definitely more like neutral, so I think it would be great for anybody, and it just feels nice. So all in all, I really do think that Nomad knocked it out of the park with this one. I think that is going to be a very different launch for people. Like I think a lot of people are surprised about skincare, but seeing from the comments on the Instagram sneak peeks, I think people are pretty excited about this one, and I know that I've really enjoyed it. So now, I do have to get to work. So what I'm going to do is I will insert swatch comparisons, maybe even just like side-by-sides of the palettes of some of the other Nomad palettes that I think, do have similar shades. I will say, I do feel like there are shades in here that are going to be somewhat similar to other Nomad shades, like especially the mattes. I mean, how many times can you do a neutral, right? Like there's going to be some similarities in here. I also think that a couple of these shimmers sort of like give me the vibes of a couple other shades that I have, but to be able to have all of this in one palette, I think that that's where the value lives. Like, I think that that's sort of expected to think of like, oh, a neutral palette. Do I have something similar? Yes. Maybe you do. Okay, so I will again now insert that footage, but if there's anything else that you would like to know, go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Are you planning on picking any of this up? Thank you again to the brand for sending this over. And again, you can use my code KEEPBeautyReal to save some money. It is not affiliated, but you know that I just love saving you all some money. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a like. I really do appreciate you all taking some time out of your day to spend it with me, and happy flying, and I will see you really soon. In the Whistler Snow Lodge palette, there were only 2 shades that were even comparable. The bottom is the new palette and the one above it is Whistler. Ghost Town USA is the palette that I found the most comparable shades. Here on the left will be Nomad Air and the right is Ghost Town. America's Parks only had a couple shades that were similar. Again, Nomad Air is on the bottom. And here we have the comparison to the Okavango Safari palette. Again, the Nomad Air is on the left.